Thank you very much, MC, for the very kind introduction. First off, a very good morning again, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, we'd like to thank the Age for inviting Ho Chin Soon Research year in, year out, and for the 9th time this time. We are very honored to be part of today's session. I know some of you are wondering, there was 2 speakers introduced and only one guy came up. No, this is the CEO letting the chairman rest first. As Praveen has said, the stage can be very lonely. So today, this year, we hope that with 1 slot, 2 speakers is value for your time. And I saw Praveen was rushing. 30 minutes is quite short on stage. So I don't want to take too much more time. Let's take a look at our topic today. First off, we'll start with Penang. Just a bit insight for you all. So the organizers emailed us, say, can you cover on this topic? Then we say, can. Then after that, they came back, can you also cover Penang and Iskandar Malaysia? We say, can. So to squeeze everything, some of the topic, the slides you will see more on a bit superficial, but nevertheless, we'll cover. So Penang, we'll take a look at Penang. Then we'll go to Iskandar Malaysia. Some interesting questions, comments today. Yeah, let's touch on Third Bridge, for example. And some of you has already bought our books outside, yes? Thank you very much. That book just launched today, as usual, we do it on the Age. And one of the focus is on the high-speed rail. We'll get there later. Then we'll talk about the MRT Line 2. It's quite interesting when announcements are made. And then when you read the announcement, usually, you say, oh, Parliament approved MRT line, and everyone asks the same question. So where are the stations? And then when I open my Facebook, I'll have like 200 notifications. Everyone tag us. So Ho Chin Soon Research, where are the stations? So later we share, let's be on the MRT line 2. A bit interesting. Before I end the session, I'll be touching a little bit on affordable housing. I'll explain further why. And then we'll conclude, and I think we'll be barraged with questions. Okay, let's take a look. Let's go with Penang. Now, I've discussed with my chairman. I say, if we are talking about Penang, shouldn't I let the Penang Lang talk about Penang? Correct? But then I realized I've also eaten enough rojak pasembo and cendol to be familiar with Penang. So let's take a look what's happening, in case you haven't been following the news. So some of the infrastructure that is in the media, you're talking about SkyCap, LRT. And what's more interesting is that over the weekend when we were down in Singapore, now the news, even the Singaporeans are well aware what is happening in Penang. In fact, later if you talk about Iskandar Malaysia, Singaporeans are more well-versed about Iskandar Malaysia. But later on that. So some of the things that are highlighted, and these are the newspaper in Singapore. So the Singaporeans, we were at another function about 2 weeks back. So the Singaporeans are also asking about Penang, for example, and where to look at. Of course, with the second bridge, we are talking about Batu Kawan. So recent news, just last week, you can see EcoWorld, for example, has already also positioned themselves in the mainland. So where exactly is that? Let's take a look. This is a recent picture. This is the second bridge. Now what are all these? This is the land allocated for industrial component. As of March, you can still count the number of factories. Usually it'll take some time for industrialists to come, set up factory, a lot of economic activity, then you will see the value spill over. Now you see at the far end there, you can see the river. Let's turn the camera. Here's the river. So the hilly portion here, this is where EcoWorld has positioned themselves for example. So it'll be very interesting to see in the years to come, when you analyze the price for mainland and also the island, and you look at high-rise and landed, they have a big gap. So it's interesting to see in the years to come the price difference between the mainland, landed, and also, say, the high-rise island in terms of capital appreciation. But I know some of you are very kiasu. Some of you take out your phone. Some of you straight away want to download the slide. Don't worry. When you go out later, you go to our booth, we have the map ready for you. Every year we give out updated map, right? Some of my close friends I know, you go to his office, you open his cabinet, full of Ho Chin Soon research map. Can trace back all the way years back. Research house, interesting. Now at this juncture, I'd like to invite my chairman to handle Iskandar Malaysia's slides. And I hope you all give him a big round of applause.
When I come up here, I must be very careful what I say and what I do. Because if my CEO is not happy, he don't sign my paycheck. Firstly, of course, we would like to thank the age. It's our 9th year. And whenever Praveen is the first speaker, I feel very relaxed because he likes to set the tone. And this year, especially with my CEO taking half the time, even better. Iskandar Malaysia, I will talk today on the rapid transit system. I would think early next month, the two prime ministers may announce the high-speed rail stop for Singapore and possibly the RTS. The Sultan of Johor say the future is in Johor because Singaporeans, not just Chinese, will be buying homes in Johor. Homes are already beyond the reach of ordinary Singaporeans over there. And recent press cuttings talk about 3 possible locations. Bukit Jaga, Princess Cove, and JB Central. In some seminars, we would have shown you these slides taken in July 2013 from a Firefly plane. We see JB and the background, Singapore, and we put in, for example, the Woodlands MRT North is now under construction, and the Singapore government's in their URA slide, Urban Redevelopment Authority exhibition, says a possible MRT coming from Johor. And Bukit Jaga is also one possible location, and JB Central, the present CIQ. And sometimes people say, how come, Mr. Ho, the MRT in the sea one from Singapore? Well, you can reclaim land, don't forget that. Now, July 2013, you don't see any reclamation, the Chinese developers. Now, let me show you. Let's see whether I have got the slides. By June 2014, the reclamation has also started on the left-hand side. And another view which we happen to take, which I like very much, on the right-hand side is Singapore. On the left-hand side is JB. You will see Bukit Jaga, you will see Princess Cove, and you will also see JB Central. One of these locations will be where the Thomson East Coast Line from Singapore will come. This one shows Bukit Jaga, favored by the Johor state. When I go to Singapore and I ask the Singaporeans, this is Woodlands North, Yishun and Woodlands is District what? The Singaporeans put up their hands and they say, Mr. Ho, District 27. Correct, betul. Singaporeans are academically inclined. I said, in the far distance there, Sembawang. District what? Mr. Ho, easy. District 28. Betul, correct. If this is District 27, District 28, MRT from Singapore comes here, this is District 29. This one a bit sensitive, don't report me to the authorities. There's another Mr. Ho who can share some experience with me. In Singapore, when I tell this joke, they don't laugh. If they want to laugh, they got to look at their shoulder whether anybody behind. Recently, I went to Singapore and I told this joke to a group of Singaporeans. And to my surprise, some young Singaporeans started to laugh. Now, this is good because there is a disease going on. It's called the young people disease. Young people want change. So young Singaporeans, like young Malaysians, also want change. I was very happy and I thought, after the seminar, the talk, I go and see and talk with these young Singaporeans. I found out they are Malaysians.
I tell joke, then I go to the side. Now, what you see here is actually shared in our book as well regarding Hong Kong, Shenzhen, the way people cross. So the key actually when you talk about Iskandar Malaysia is about how people travel from one country to the other. A lot of questions raised. In fact, I know maybe some of the questions will be repeat, so might as well I address it here and now. One way to actually understand the potential of Iskandar Malaysia, first you have to be fair. You cannot cluster the whole Iskandar Malaysia as just Iskandar. You have to be more specific location. On top of that, you must be more product specific as well. Okay, without going into too much detail, this is how I measure potential. First, we have to do a very quick survey. Very quick. I'll ask a question, and if it applies to you, please raise your hand so we can have a feel of the people in the room. How many of you travel to work one way every day? You take more than 45 minutes. Please raise your hand. More than 45 minutes one way. Okay. How many of you travel to work, take between 30 to 45 minutes one way? Okay, now I want to see those that travel less than 30 minutes one way to their work. These are the bosses. These are the people with the money. You know why? It actually gives you a good idea that people, businesses, they want to be close to each other. If you are the boss, your house will be so close. Usually you won't travel more than 20 minutes. Of course, if you go to KK, it's different. I did the survey in KK, Sabah. I say 45 minutes, nobody pick up hand. 35 minutes, nobody pick up hand. I say, hey, you all travel all below 20 minutes. Their life is good over there. But anyway, having said that, coming back to Iskandar Malaysia, you need to understand. The question is, how long does a Singaporean take from his house to his workplace? And if you can match that traveling time by being in Iskandar Malaysia, then it makes sense. right? So how long does a Singaporean take? They are very efficient. They have all the statistics. So if you take a look at their government statistics, they even break down those that take buses only, those that take MRT only, those that take MRT and buses, those that use personal car. And you look at the data, plus minus, say, 35, 40 minutes. What is the longest average? 53 minutes. Okay, so if you can stay somewhere in Iskandar, Malaysia, using infrastructure, get connected, go and work in Singapore, less than 53 minutes, that makes really good sense. Okay, so it's up to you to do the counting. Moving on. Talking about the third bridge. So let's take a look what the magician said. The Sultan, sorry. I think we can crack joke about politician, but when we crack, we don't crack joke about Sultan. And that's why the whole room quiet. Okay, let's take a look. So this was the interview then. Where will the third link be most likely located? The Sultan answered, I think most likely it will be somewhere in Changi. And then he laughed, chuckles. He said, I don't know. It is between two prime ministers, I don't know and I don't ask. I'm sure if there is a need, government will bring the matter up. So just using this tip, we want to try and speculate roughly where the third bridge will be. Because he used the word Changi, so where in Iskandar, Malaysia, right? So outside later at our booth, you can take this map. Of course, we've been giving out. Now, everyone knows a lot about flagship A, flagship B. So this year, we focus on this corridor. Now, notice, let me zoom in. So this is Pasir Gudang. Oh, okay, never mind. Pasir Gudang, Desaru, Pengerang, Changi. So if you were to draw a third bridge, how will you draw it? How? Go up, go east. So of course, you need to understand further what is also on the ground, taking into account that you have a military camp here, the Navy. So it's very hard to say, perhaps you draw like this. Very unlikely. So if you start somewhere from just to connect to Changi, it has to be somewhere like this, in this manner. But this slide, we didn't draw any polygon inside. We just use for the benefit of those that come. So perhaps the bridge will be something like this, cutting across. And looking at how the planners have been planning the road, perhaps in the future, you will have a bridge like this, internally, in Iskandar, Malaysia. So a bridge here, and a bridge here. Do you all want to listen to some of the hearsay I've been hearing now? One, okay. So perhaps, if you have a bridge like this, and then you block the water, let years pass by, and you can have a freshwater reservation. Perhaps. Okay? But that's far, far future. Now, eastern part, Iskandar, Malaysia, what else happening? Pengerang area, everyone knows about it. A lot of Singaporeans are asking. So let's straight away take a look at the area photo. Because this photo was given by a friend of ours. Took the picture while he was on a commercial plane, and it was very recent. Let's take a look. What was it? 8 months ago. 8 months ago. So let's look at this shape. Here. The clearing, just 8 months. Okay, the battery is a bit weak, I think. Okay, never mind. Let me pass on because we are short of time.
We purposely planned this in such a way that the hotspots high-speed rail I just flipped through, so that you have no choice but to go and buy the book. Now, don't worry about the time. I know they have given us 1 minute Can we ask from the audience 5 minutes? Yeah? Now they have to say yes. Now I'm going to go through very fast because the young man Ishmael Ho has something also to share with you afterwards. So very quickly, the hotspot, a little bit on China, is an everyday normal routine. People buy tickets, sit high-speed trains. Let me see. Hey, the battery weak lah, boss. How? Wait. In Shenzhen, yeah, shopping complexes, high-speed rail, shopping complexes, everything you need. You can even have roti canai, everything. And in Shanghai, there's hotels, shopping complexes. Maybe you're blocking the signal here, this one. Okay, there you are. And so forth. This is part of hundreds of pictures. This is slow. Okay. Offices. In high-speed rail stations, you got all these high-rise, high plot ratio. We must not be conservative. Important slides, population. You read all about it. The weakest is Muar at 300,000. Quickly, the stations in Malaysia: Sungai Besi Military Airport, Bandar Malaysia, high-speed rail station located at the south, station number 1. Station number 2, Putrajaya Central Station. Seremban, the Negeri Sembilan, government have said Labu Saim Dabis Estate, taken from an aeroplane. You can, if your eyes are sharp enough, you can also see the Sendayan Military Airport under construction. In Ayakoro, for Malacca, 1,000 acres, IOI has land there. And in Muar Station 5, they say between Bukit Pasir and Sungai Mati, and maybe Pago a little bit away. And Batu Pahat will be more nearer to Ayah Hitam. And announcement 2 weeks back, Sunrise have pinpoint Gerbang Nusa Jaya. Let us take a look at what it looks like from the aeroplane. When the southwest monsoon blows, the plane comes from the north. You sit on the right-hand side, and you see the high-speed rail. In red is Gerbang, Ramsar side is Ledang, and a little bit you will see Sunway Iskandar, hidden partly by the clouds. That's the map you can get outside. And if you stay in Sunway Iskandar, there is also an upgrade of the coastal highway. You can drive to Singapore. If you want to come back to Kuala Lumpur, you cross the highway, you take the high-speed rail at Gerbang, and 1 hour, 10 minutes, you are at Kuala Lumpur. You step out in an MRT station connecting you to Golden Triangle and anywhere you want.
I think the gentleman at the back is pressing manually, right? Okay, let's take a look. Very quickly, MRT 2. Now, this was shown to us by the government. It's an old plan. MRT 1, everyone knows about it. MRT 2, today's topic. So, back then, this was the alignment. So if you've been paying close attention, you can actually get the alignment even before the public display for objection period. And we got it about a week back. First, they have to show the member of public the environmental impact assessment. So the consultant disclosed to you roughly where is the alignment, and quite good detail. So very quickly, let's take a look. MRT 1, red line is the MRT 2. Back then, it goes in Pandan area, skirts along Cheras South area, but now not anymore. Let me zoom in. Northern part, not much change. You go to Kepong, Jinjang, Sentru, it goes in. Then you have the Hospital Besar, goes to KLCC area. somewhere near to Ampang Park station, LRT, goes down, what you call that, Platinum, Nazati TDI, Platinum Park. Then you also have Kraft Tangan, goes down, TRX. Now, this is where it changed. Before that, it was supposed to go to Pandan area. Now it changed because it has to service the high-speed rail station. So instead of going in this manner, it went here. Go to Chan Sao Lin area, cuts across, and Bandar Malaysia will have 2 stations, north and southern. And roughly here's where the high-speed rail will be, the southern part of the land. When I got to know of this news, I was pained because our office and house is somewhere here. So even consultants, sometimes we got it wrong. Huh? So anyway, as it goes down further, don't worry about it, the alignment. In a month or 2, we will go to UOB and ask them, there's change of line. Therefore, need to sponsor again to reprint. Do you all like the free maps? So must always tell your UOB friends, please continue sponsoring the Ho Chin Sun map. We love this free map. Okay, moving on. Very quickly, why did I bring up affordable housing? Because it's a valid question. When you're talking about secondary market, talking about primary market, you would want to know, number one, how fast is these stocks coming in, correct? And where are they? Because if they are effective, in a way, it can affect property prices. So to address this, I only have one slide to show. Since most of you are from the real estate industry yourself, you will know just by looking at these figures, a lot of those who register will be disappointed. The figure is massive. Even if for the whole country we start building, perhaps a year 250,000 houses, a lot of people will be disappointed. So sometimes when I talk to my fellow friends, just to share, 2 days ago there was actually another forum talking about affordable housing, and then on the stage I saw the big bosses. You have SPNB, Prima, PKNS, and then a developer. So they were all talking about affordable housing, and then Q&A session. 1 gentleman, 2 gentlemen, 3 gentlemen came out and asked questions. Then I thought to myself, my God, we are all talking about affordable housing, but none of them are from Gen Y. So I got up and I had to ask my question. But this is not the place to discuss. I believe if we do it right, we can actually really address the issue very fast. To just give my take, I say the supply will be coming in very slowly. So if you have youngsters that have not yet bought their houses, and you talk to them about property, and they say, oh, I want to do property investment. What do? You slap them. Say you haven't bought even your house, don't use the word investment. After you bought your first house, then you want to use the term investment, it's up to you. And tell them, please don't time the market. I have friends, haven't bought their house, they say, Ishmael, I'm sitting on cash. I'm waiting. You're waiting for what? So please don't tell your younger friends, please don't time the market. Conclusion, let's take a look. This one, earlier Praveen, he struggled. Who's your favorite developer? Say lah, the top 10 age. Ranked by the age. So of course, what you see here is a slide ranked by the age. 2014, we have the results. Congrats to Sunway being number 1st. And as a speaker myself, I have to walk the talk. Personally, when my friends ask, what do you buy? I say, yes, one of my product actually got from the top 10 developer lah. Okay, moving on. As you see, outside we have this book, and we did promise our audience. We say, when we launch our new book, we will make it cheaper than all our previous book. Our previous book, all 50 ringgit. This book, 40 ringgit. So hopefully you all support. Myself, I had, book, no GST. Thank you for bringing that out. No GST. I bet you all are sick of paying GST. Anyway, So personally, myself, I even went to Bangkok, went to Manila to understand the city. And when I came back, I was actually very happy. Oh, Greater KL, not bad at all. Okay? So more on my story is all in the book. Of course, went to Philippines, take a look, understand their culture, etc. And I so took time go holiday lah. So all is written in the book. Hopefully, you all will support us. Next. One more look, and next. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your kind attention. Thank you.